This is the Louie T Network.
In the Lab Room.
Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Today is Thursday, which means it's football day. There's Thursday night football action for us to enjoy. Jets traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. This is going to be a good one. And I think it's going to be a little bit of good theater because we're getting to see Geno Smith for the first time in the regular season on national television. Want to see how he embraces this spotlight. I think he's a guy that loves the attention and the glamour and all of the things that come with being a starting quarterback in the National Football League in the Big Apple nonetheless. And so he's definitely going to relish this opportunity to show what he can do on the big stage on Thursday Night Football. All eyes on him. And so he'll be taking his Jets to New England to take on the Patriots to see if they can get a win and surprise a lot of people around the National Football League and go to 2-0 in the season. I, myself, right here, would be in that group of people surprised if the Jets are able to go into Foxborough and steal one because, frankly, I'm going to cut straight to the point. I didn't expect the Jets to be going into this game at 1-0 to begin with. And so they've got a little bit of momentum. They feel good about themselves. And I always say this about Rex Ryan. I say what you want about Rex Ryan. Say what you want. He's very egotistical. He has a big mouth. He doesn't know how to shut up. Say what you want about Rex Ryan. He can't coach, whatever you want to say. The one thing you can't say, though, is that he can't coach defense. Because that's one thing that this man can do. And there's no disputing that. So you say what you want about Rex Ryan. His teams always come prepared to play some kind of defense. Now, how long is it going to be able to keep them in the game if the offense isn't helping them? I can't tell you that. I can't give you that kind of intel. But I can say this. When this game starts, this defense is going to go out and give this Jets team a chance. Now, for how long? Again, I can't speak to that. But the Jets defense is going to keep them in this game for as long as they can. Now, it's Geno Smith's job and the rest of that offense, the offensive line, the receivers, tight ends, and running backs to try and put points up on this board. Look, that performance that they had last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not going to get it done against the New England Patriots. So they're going to have to come with their A game if they want to steal this one from the Patriots on the road in Foxborough. This is going to be Geno Smith's first appearance in New England, his first game within the division. And so this is going to be a very, very big deal for the Jets and their fan base. And I tell you what, Geno Smith is the guy that I think embraces and relishes the spotlight. He loves being a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He loves playing in the Big Apple or in New Jersey. Or again, I'll never figure that out, but he loves being the center of attention. Well, here it is. The spotlight is going to be cast right upon Geno Smith and the New York Jets. They're going to be on primetime Thursday night. You're the only show in town, not counting college football. You're the only show in town, buddy. It's all yours. Stage is yours. Here's the mic. Do what you like. And so I want to see what Geno Smith is going to do tonight. It's going to be great theater because I'll tell you what, this Patriots team is not invincible. And they were on the ropes. If this was a battle royale, if this was a Royal Rumble, and it was 3 participants left, the Patriots were hanging on that top rope like this, trying to stay in. They were hanging, and they went over the top, but they were able to slide back under the ropes. They barely stayed alive and won that game last week against Buffalo. If Buffalo makes a play here, a play there, if Stevie Johnson doesn't drop an easy pass on 3rd and 2, I don't know if we're having this discussion about the Patriots being 1-0. And so I tell you what, man, this Patriots team has a lot of things, a lot of questions that they have to answer. And one of them being, can Danny Amendola stay healthy? He's not playing in this game. I don't think. He might suit up. But he and Rob Gronkowski have both been listed as questionable, which we're talking about the Patriots here. Everybody's questionable. And so he's on that injury report, and he was banged up last game against Buffalo. And this is what you get out of Danny Amendola. I've been trying to tell everyone, and I think a lot of people already know, Danny Amendola is a guy that can't stay healthy to save his life. And so, if you're the Patriots, he's the best thing you got smoking at receiver right now. And that's the one thing that scares me about New England is that they're relying very heavily on a guy that can't stay healthy. And they don't have a lot of targets out there. When's the last time? Okay, I want to ask you this. When's the last time Tom Brady was 29 of 52? When's the last time Tom Brady was 29 of 52? Huh? When's the last time he had over 20 incompletions in one game? When's the last time that happened? You can't tell me. You know why? Because he's never had a depleted receiving corps like the one he has this year. A lot of rookies, a lot of no-name guys, a lot of people that he can't rely on, can't depend on to get it done. These rookies, they might turn out to be all world, but right now they're still trying to find their footing in the National Football League. And so it's going to be tough for Tom Brady to really excel if these guys aren't creating separation, if these guys aren't running the right routes, if these guys aren't doing their jobs adequately enough. You can say what you want about Deion Branch and David Givens and Troy Brown and all those guys. Oh, they weren't the fastest and they didn't create all that separation and Brady put the ball on them. But they were technicians in what they did. Kevin Falk and all of those guys, technicians. They ran precise routes where they were supposed to be. They were there when they were supposed to be there. And Brady knew he could count on them to be there. And so he wouldn't be throwing interceptions. And so, I tell you what, if the Patriots play a lot like they did last Sunday, they're going to be in for a dogfight because the Jets are going to play defense. The Jets, their defense is much improved. And this group can get after the quarterback. This group can stop the run. And I think the Patriots have been running the football very well. But guess what? Shane Vereen broke his hand. He's going to be out at least a month. So you take away half of that running game. When you do that, now you're just down to LeGarrette Blount and you're down to Stephen Ridley. And so, look, the Patriots are still the Patriots. And I expect them to win, and so do you. But let me caution you with this. If they turn the football over in this game, like they did against Buffalo, if they let the Jets hang around like they did with the Buffalo Bills, if they play a similar style of football like they did against the Bills, they could lose this game. But the Patriots are home. The Jets are not. And so the Patriots are going to win the game like they're supposed to. Jets 16, Patriots 27 tonight. And I probably gave the Patriots too many points. It's probably more like 23. But I think the Jets aren't going to be able to win this football game. I don't think they're going to score enough points. I don't think they're going to sustain enough offense. And I don't think that Geno Smith and his Jets offense is going to be able to stay turnover free. I think they're going to turn it over a couple of times. And this Patriots defense is opportunistic. You make a mistake, best believe you're going to pay for it. And so Geno Smith is going to make a couple of mistakes. These running backs for the Jets, Bilal Powell, Chris Ivory, guys got to step up. Look, you got to help Geno out. You got to help this offense out, this passing game out, this young rookie quarterback out. You got to help him out. Got to be able to run the football. Offensive line up front, got to protect, and you need to open up holes for this rushing attack. You got to help Geno out, okay? And so I can't wait to see this because this is going to tell me a lot about both teams involved in this football game. I think I know who the Patriots are. I'm not sure, though. This will kind of show me who they are because if the Patriots are who they normally are, they'll dispose of this Jets team, no problems. This will be a 34-13 victory. If they're not, and they're the team more like what we saw last week, then they'll eke out a 21-16 victory. They'll eke out a 23-16 victory in a ball game that was close and tight throughout. So I'll learn a lot about the Patriots tonight, and I'll learn a lot about the Jets, even though I think I know who the Jets are. I'm not really fixated on that win last weekend. I don't think that that win is indicative of who the Jets are going to be all season long. They should have lost that game, and I expect them to lose many, many more before this season is over. And so my pick is the Patriots tonight to beat the New York Jets. And I'm going to start this week off the right way with the W on Thursday, and then I'm going to take this W and parlay it into about another 13 or 14 wins as I dominate this week in the weekly pick'em. I'm going to dominate this week. I feel really good about my picks, and so tomorrow you will get all of my picks, all of my picks, the rest of the picks, including all of the picks on Sunday and Sunday night. The Monday pick will be reserved for Monday, but you'll know who I have going into the weekend tomorrow. So that's a touchdown. Go ahead and throw it up. Want to tack on this quick extra point. And today, the extra point is San Francisco 49ers traveling to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Man, does that look like a really good football game. I can't wait to watch that one. That's going to be some really, really good football. And I tell you what, Seahawks have not lost at home in over a year. No one beat them in Seattle last year. And so the 49ers have their work cut out for them. And I can't wait. And Joe Staley has already come out and said, look, nobody is touching my quarterback. And he didn't put it that nicely, but he set the tempo, and Colin Kaepernick is going to be out there running around, slinging that football, coming off of his best performance as a professional in terms of passing the football. 400 and some change yards throwing it. Quan, over 200 yards receiving it. I can assure you of one thing, those numbers won't be happening on Sunday night, and so they're going to have to jumpstart this rushing attack because the Packers shut it down, shut it down. And if they can't run the ball in this game, they're going to find themselves in a very, very precarious situation because this Seattle Seahawks team, they're not going for 200 yards for Anquan Bolden. They're not going for 400 yards passing for Colin Kaepernick. That's not jumping off. And so they got to be able to run that football. The Panthers had limited success running the football versus these guys. They can be ran on. And if the 49ers are smart, they will tinker with this rushing attack, get it back on track, because 21 rushes for 47 or 48 yards for Frank Gore, not going to get it done against this Seattle Seahawks defense. This is going to be a really good football game. The Seahawks have to be able to run the ball better. Both teams need to run the ball better because Seattle was atrocious running the football as well. Carolina wasn't having it last week. And so going to be interesting to see if they can do what they want to do. And I'm talking about both football teams here. Can they do what they want to do, which is run the football to set up the pass? The 49ers and the Seahawks showed last week that without a running game, they can still throw the football. Russell Wilson had his first 300-yard passing game in the regular season last week against Carolina. Meanwhile, Kaepernick, I talked about it already, over 400 yards. So both showed that, hey, I want my running game to be successful, but if you take it from me, don't worry about it. I'll just throw the peel around. So we will see what this game is going to bring. But I know one thing, it is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of hype around it, and well-deserved, because these are two of the better teams in the NFC right here. And so that's going to do it for me today. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll come back. We'll talk about what happened on Thursday Night Football, and I'll break down the Pick'em Weekly that I have, all my picks. I'll give them to you one by one and why. And so I'll see you here tomorrow. And remember, if it happens in the NFL, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. See you tomorrow.
While you're here, go ahead and sub up.
In the lab room.